Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL. And today we're working with another 12-string bracelet. This one is pattern number 109315. And in case you're interested in the Kumi is number 2679, both on friendshipbracelets.net. This one I thought was going to take longer than it did. It's got some fiddly bits and makes it a little bit harder to do any segment knotting, but it turned out I did it in 61 minutes and I was kind of shocked. I really didn't expect it. Also, I didn't expect to love it nearly as much as I did. I used a kind of a goldeny yellow, slightly orange color to go with this sort of a fiery red, kind of dabbling almost into a purple range. The color combination is spectacular. I love this thing. It really turned out pretty cool. You'll notice though there's fewer of the variegated ones. The reds is variegated, right? There's like 2 strands on either side, or 4 out of 12 are the variegated. And again, I thought that might make things a little bit weird. I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out. Turns out it's awesome. I really, really love it. It's kind of hard to tell right now how great that contrast was, but you'll see that kind of develop out as it goes along. This is not a beginner-friendly bracelet. There's a lot of zigzags. There's a lot of stuff to try to work with. Intermediate, it's not the worst. It just, it'll have taken a little bit of practice. The bits and pieces here and there, like those little ends that I had just done, because I realized I could then do out the whole row coming outwards. Little things that might have made it actually have taken a little bit less time, but there were little things I kind of noticed along the way that, kind of different or whatever. Yeah, and it is constantly kind of changing, which makes it kind of easy to look on the pattern and see where you are and see what's going on. Except for there's an area that's coming up where there are like 3 chevrons or 3 arrows coming in together, and whenever it repeats like that, I'm always afraid of accidentally doing one too many or something. But I don't know, carefully counting again and again and again, I managed to get through it just fine. Thank you very much. But it is a beautiful pattern. I really do like this one a lot. I'm not sure if it would have turned out this way if I was trying to work from it off of the original pattern, because the way that that's sort of set up on the other site, it's kind of hard to see like what you would want to be the primary focus if you started in a different spot, or you started right at the beginning of the pattern instead of how I ended up with the spaces. Having this thing off-centered, I think I would not have liked it nearly as much, because I picked a part of the pattern deliberately, made that the focal point, and then worked everything out around it. I think is really comes down to why I love this so much, because you can't really see it in the thing. Wait till the finish. It really makes it very tribally or something. Maybe if I had done some more like earthy tones, or like a turquoise with like turquoise and gray, this could have looked a lot more like a tribal type of thing, because it does have that sort of essence to it. I can't say enough about like how happy I am with the way that this thing has turned out. The variegated string in this case was very muted. Like it didn't go from one extreme to another. It's sort of from red to a purplish color. So that was kind of cool. What else? I just thought of something else, and then like I wanted to finish my sentence, and then my brain went numb. But yeah, for a 2-color bracelet, I think this turned out really cool. This is really neat. Yeah, well, here, let's just do this. We're getting near the center of the video, so let me just thank my YouTube members for making this possible. It was your guys' help that made it me have this string in the first place. Like, kinda, I was putting in a string order, and then something came up about this floss that's, you know, a sample pack of variegated string, and I was like, should we get it? And my wife was like, yeah, you could do something with that, right? Yes, I can. I'm planning on making maybe a variegated playlist. I'm not sure if I'll just call it variegated or what I'll call it. Because the problem with calling it variegated is a lot of people don't know it by that name. They look at this string and they're like, oh, it's color changing or something like that. And I'm not sure if I want to try to go to the lowest common denominator of like people who don't know what it's called, because that might get confused with other things, like, you know. So I don't know. I have to give it some thought. I'm not sure about it yet. If you have suggestions, leave it in the comments. I would greatly be appreciated. But yeah, here's the center of the whole thing. So like that, it's like an eye or something, right? Like in the tribal type things that, like, I've seen things where they're like, oh, this is the eye, whatever. Yeah, I love it. I think this is a really great pattern. I could even see trying it out with like some other colors. Like, really, honestly, I that would be something I might want to do in the future. Of course, you'll have to remind me, because I'll put it aside with all the other projects of things I want to do, and then I'll forget all about it. So, but yeah, back in the 80s, I was out in San Diego, California, and I would go over into Tijuana, and they would have all kinds of turquoise type stuff, bracelets and whatnot with silver and turquoise. And this bracelet really kind of reminds me of that sort of vibe that they had. So I don't know if that's like special to their area, or if they were trying to imitate like Arizona or what it was, but the stuff was like some pretty cool jewelry that you could get kind of cheap. That was pretty neat. I'm trying to think of anything else clever that I kind of discovered along the way. Yeah, like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of like really good segment knotting in this. A lot of it's sort of like a chevrons and odd pieces, and but it turns out so good. It really does. So yeah, 12-string pattern. 4 of them are red. The rest were golden. I feel like some deja vu here. Did we do another pattern that was like this before? Feels like it. My brain is completely mush. I have not had enough coffee yet to start the day and start doing this, I guess, because I am totally at a loss. I've mentioned most of the things I really had thought about while I was making it. I'm making this went into the late hours of last night, so I wasn't able to record this video last night. It was pretty late already. So here I am this morning trying to remember all the things that I was thinking about. And yeah, I don't know. I really like it. I'm really kind of proud of how this turned out. There's there's a lot of bracelets that I like when I make them. Like almost everything I make, I'm gonna like it to some extent. There, except for like if it was really hard to make, that was really difficult or something, I might complain a bit. But this one went together really kind of easy, and the finished product, the what come out of it, I think I'm honestly kind of surprised at how well I like it. It really, you know, it's not. It's really like the kind of patterns I normally pick or gravitate towards are like the arrowheads and the dovetails and stuff like that. So something like this isn't exactly the first thing I would pick out, but I was looking for patterns that would be good to go with variegated floss, and I thought this one might turn out to be pretty cool. Of course, if there had been dramatic changes, it might not have turned out as well. If the red went from like a pink to a dark red, it might not have turned out as well as this. So you kind of have to gauge what you're working with your pattern to see if it's going to work out okay. So yeah, and here's like the 3 chevrons to end it. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. I do really appreciate it. Hopefully you get some insight between my brain dead morning thing here. I don't know. I'm trying. I am really trying to make this as good as I can for you guys. So thank you guys for having a little bit of patience with me. And here comes the end, the big reveal. Hopefully you like it. And yeah, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.